Hello, everyone, and welcome to accounting. While we wait for the first official day of the semester, I have created this video to introduce the structure of my course so that everyone is able to find the resources and the assignments easily. All of my courses are set up the same, so pop this video in a separate tab or screen and then follow along in your D2L course. Let's start here on the home or the front page of the course. We always have the course title up at the top. Immediately below that is the navigation bar. We have a picture with the course section and name, and then we have the content browser. The content browser contains the quick links to all of your resources and assignments. So you can access the information through the content tab here on the navigation bar, or you can go directly to a module here on the content browser. Let's start in the Welcome and General Info module, which is where you should begin any class. Through your tuition and fees, you have access to the ebook and all of the resources and testing requirements needed for the course. But you do need to create a Connect account. And the first place you do that is with this McGraw-Hill Connect launch. You are either going to create or find your Connect account using your ECC student email. All of the resources are accessible using that email. It ends in @student.elgin.edu. Once you have created that account at this location, at the launch, you will never use this or need to return to that again. All of your other introductory activities are here. Your discussion, your quiz, the syllabus, the calendar, all of the pieces you need in that core basic understanding of the course. There are several ways to navigate through this content browser. I haven't yet clicked on any of these individual links within my Welcome module, so I can just do Home, and it will take me back to the initial screen. I can also go back to Home by clicking on the class name up here at the top, or if I'm in the Content tab, I can go back through the table of contents. I want to go in now and look at a module. So let's look at Module 1-2. Again, regardless of the class or the section, your setup is the same. So you can see here under Module 1-2, you have learning materials, you have your assignments, your smart book, and your problems from Chapter 1 or 2. If there's any extra things like extra credit or projects, they're here. There's a study guide, there's an exam, and there's a discussion group. So let's go to the learning resources or learning materials first. So I'm going to click the link, and hopefully a very colorful worksheet will show up on your screen. This is the link to the learning resources. So besides the ebook, which you have access through that launch and through the individual chapters, you have slides. You can see here up at the top, there are slides for Chapter 1, and as soon as I hover over the link, the slides show up. And there are slides for Chapter 2, and as soon as I hover over that link, those slides show up. So I'm going to click on the Chapter 2 slides. I've expanded my screen a little bit so you can see the full list of slides here. This is not an inanimate PowerPoint presentation. This slide presentation contains videos, audio files, reading notes, examples, explanations, all of the things that you would get in the classroom. So you don't want to run it like a slideshow. You want to look at individual slides. So let's look at a couple of them. Let's go down to slide 7. You can see on slide 7 that there's a video link that you can click on. So this particular video is related to some additional explanation for this slide, right? Not every slide has that. Some have an audio. So let's go to slide 3. This one has an audio link. You see up here, if you hover and click on this, then you can see that the actual audio shows up and you can play that. This one is explaining the outcomes for this chapter. Some just have reading or visuals. So I'm going to go down to slide 9. You can see there's neither an audio or a video here, but I want to make sure that everyone remembers that there's reading notes below this slide. So if you are ever on a slide and you want to make sure, is there more that I need to understand about this? Just go down to the bottom of the slide. You see the little hand or mitten, and then you can slide up. And if there's additional reading notes, they will be below it. So you can just expand or contract that, but don't forget to check that. There are also what I call my whiteboard or classroom videos. So let's go down to slide 12. And here on slide 12, you see the beginning of an example. Well, if you go through and you watch this video, you will see me explaining what recording transactions is and how we do it in this equation format. So this is not in your ebook. This is something I would have done in the classroom, but I provide this as an extra video for those who have async sections or hybrid sections. And this is your way to start your learning before you see me if you are in a hybrid section. You also see here that there is another link on this screen, and that is the worksheet. So the static worksheet behind this, the one that I'm using and filling out in the video, that will be available for you to review as well. So these slides will follow the structure of the ebook, but the explanations and the examples are instructor created and will assist you with the homework and applying the content. So make sure that you go through every chapter slide by slide. So again, where did we find those slides? When we opened up the learning materials or the learning resources in D2L in our content, we found the links here to those slides. We also see additional worksheets or examples that can be completed to practice. So they'll be aligned with your homework and what you will be expected to do on the test. And then you will see down here at the bottom some other resources. So I have cultivated some resources through YouTube and different locations that align with our book. These are not from the textbook. These are not from me. They're external to the class. The direct link into the homework and the classroom presentations will be up here on the slides. So now I want to go back and find my assignments and stuff. So I can go back either through this sequence here, right? This is from the content. So I can go back to the table of contents here, or I could have used the content tab here, or I could use the class title here to go back to that first page. But now I'm within the module table of contents here. So this is how my content browser got to those slides. And then you can see all of your assignments. So if you're going to do the Chapter 1 Smart Book, you simply click on this link. The next thing you'll see is the word launch, and you launch the assignment. It will launch you right into Connect. We have problems. So this is the two pieces of the homework. The Smart Book is kind of reading and understanding the material. The problems is applying it, synthesizing it, trying to deepen your understanding. Same thing, click on the link. It will take you directly there. You launch. The same thing for Chapter 2. There might be some projects or extra credit. There is always going to be a study guide. The study guide is in Connect as well. So again, click the link, launch your exam. So your exam is in Connect as well. So let's talk a little bit about that. When you look at the calendar, you'll see that your exams are available for a 5-day period. But once you open the exam and actually start it, then you have a timed window. So the exam is timed for a typical classroom period with a little bit of extra time added. But it is proctored through Proctorio. You'll see that in the announcements when we talk about that in a minute. But Proctorio is a proctoring system associated with Connect. I want to make crystal clear that it is a Chrome extension, so it's not adding any software, right? It's just an extension added onto Chrome. I will not record and I will not watch you through your camera. What the Proctorio does, the things I have selected is it limits your ability to have multiple tabs open or multiple screens. So you do have to remain in full screen all the time and take the exam. Once you start it, you must finish it, but you do have 5 days in which you can choose the day and time that is best for you to take the exam. There will be further information on that when it's time to take an exam in the announcements, so be ready for that. There's always a discussion board for each module, so you can ask of your peers questions related to this chapter and module. That's a public discussion board, so individual questions like grades and stuff should not be there. Each module is set up exactly the same, so regardless of what class you're in or what module you're in, you'll see the same basic structure. If I want to get back to the first home page, I can always click on the title of my class and I'm right back where I started. So this is that content browser, right? You see all the modules for the class. You have additional information on this first screen. This is just an info link. So online office hours, here's a Zoom link. Tutoring, we do have tutoring for accounting, information is there. Some additional job information, wellness, email etiquette, etc. Over here on this side, we have the calendar. So always a daily and then upcoming. So if I click on this, it'll show me things that are going to be due as we begin to get into the class. This happens to be a winter class, so that's what you're seeing. Then there's announcements. So the announcements are always how I give you information. So should there be a reason to cancel class, which I don't know that we will ever see, it would be here. But I will put reminders out there for some key information at the beginning of the class. And then I will put reminders out there for projects and exams and midterm grades and last day to drop and things like that that you need to be aware of. The exams do show up and then will disappear based on some time frames. But once you've finished and looked at an announcement, you can dismiss it. Let's go back up here, just take a quick peek across that nav bar. Content, remember that's a way to get through to all of your assignments and learning resources either here or directly through the content browser, whatever you're comfortable using. Your grades are always going to be here and updated. So as soon as you complete something in Connect, it will post over here into your grades. As soon as you complete a project, if it's outside of Connect, once I grade it, it will be posted here. Class list, so emails and how you can access email information for your peers. And then ECC student email. So again, that at student.elgin.edu email, this is the primary communication at the college. So if you don't want to check that on a regular basis, do make sure that you link that to an email that you will check frequently, because the college will use that and I will use that for communication. And you always need to be aware of what emails are showing up. So this course, this class, accounting. So one thing I want to say is if you've not taken an accounting class before, or maybe you don't have a lot of business experience, you might find this class challenging. Yes, there is some memorizing of basic ideas in the first couple of chapters, but after that, you are expected to apply and synthesize your knowledge. You will likely find that the examples in the chapter slides and the problem homework assignments are connected. You will find that you need to understand the relationships between business ideas and how to further apply them to decision making. You may need to change your approach to learning and practicing it within the class. You will have resources available. You saw that in your content browser. Make sure you use them. My courses are not just about a few exams and a huge impact on your grade. Your homework matters. The smart book and the problems, the projects matter. The exams matter. All of it is important to getting your full learning experience of the accounting discipline. So when day one is here, get started in that welcome and general info module to begin your journey in the class. I look forward to seeing you in the classroom or in the introduction discussions.